Hi, my name is Avery, and this is my presentation for my social media campaign for my website slash podcast slash blog, Avery's Anime Corner. All right, let's get started. So, first things first, I want to talk about the goals of the social media campaign. So, the goals will definitely be to grow the website as well as the social media accounts. Which will then kind of feed into each other. Hopefully the social media accounts, people will find those and then it'll go to the website because that's where all the information will be. I want to grow those accounts and reach out to new anime and manga enjoyers, maybe people who are just getting into anime and manga, and give them some recommendations so they can get more into it and enjoy it, as well as talking about theories and discussing new and upcoming animes with people who are already avid enjoyers. Basically just to kind of broaden people's horizons about anime and manga and to inform and discuss. So next, let's take a look at the social media calendar. I want it to be pretty intensive because I think the more active you are, the more you're on people's, the front of their, not For You page per se, but your content will come up more often. So I want to announce new blog posts on X, formerly known as Twitter, beginning on Monday, and then later that day I will post the blog. So people are like, oh, the new blog's coming out. Maybe they can read it on the way home from work or school. I would probably want to post the blog, in the evenings, when people aren't, busy, because if it comes out, during like 3 o'clock or something, people will be like, oh, that's cool, but I'm at work. And then maybe they'll forget about it. And then in case people miss the blog, I'm going to do an IG, Instagram recap. Just talking about things in the blog, shouting out like, hey, new blog post, come interact with it, and then, because that'll also get viewers that aren't solely on Twitter to interact as well. Then taking a break Wednesday, and then Thursday, I'm going to do a podcast. And then that following Friday, probably going to upload it maybe like Thursday night, like 11:59, and then Friday, people can listen to it on the way maybe, and then Friday morning, going to hype up the blog and the podcast, be like, new blog coming out next Monday about such and such, and I had a podcast release talking about such and such. And that way people on their ride to work or to school can, listen to the podcast before they get into their jobs. So that's going to be kind of the cycling schedule. I want to keep it consistent so people have something to look forward to. Having a consistent release schedule is something that could definitely help grow your fan base. If your drops are just all over the place, then it's hard for people to stay engaged and know when things are coming up. So next, I want to take a look at the website. Here is the website, Avery's Anime Corner, and this is where I would like everybody to be funneling from the social media to. I'm going to have links to it in the accounts. So this is the homepage, as well as on the homepage right away you can see the blog updates, as well as links to the social media. Contact information if anyone wants to ask questions or maybe collaborate on something. The contact information is all here, as well as my number and email. A little bit about me so people can get to know me. I think putting a face to making it more personable can get people more invested, rather than just being some kind of faceless entity out there on the internet. Here is where, here's loading. Yep, here's where people will also be able to go and check out the podcast straight from the website. It's like a one-stop shop for all the links. And then here are the blog posts right here. So, I don't know how to get it back. And gotcha, here we go. Okay, so that's the website. That's where I would like everything to funnel into. Next, we have the key social media sites. Those are going to be Instagram and SoundCloud. SoundCloud, I think, will be very key because I think people can get really drawn into podcasts, especially since the pandemic. I've noticed there being a lot more podcasts. It's it's a good way to consume media, and SoundCloud also has messaging features, as well as the ability to interact on posts similar to YouTube. But unlike YouTube, it does have that messaging feature, so I can send it out to followers whenever it releases. I think having kind of a SoundCloud network would be a really good thing. And then Instagram is also another great place. It's one of the biggest social media sites, and it's got a visual aspect, which is good. So, right, because people don't necessarily want to read all day, so having that visual component, I can have fewer words, and it'll show off more. I think I also have a pretty decent following already on Instagram, so converting that into this will work pretty well for me. Next, I want to talk about the sociality. So I think replying to people's comments and maybe their messages over social media networks is going to be key, to engage with the listeners. Because I know for me, like if I if I commented on an artist I post and they heart the message or something or respond, then that feels really cool. It's like, okay, I've noticed it's like this is a real person. So kind of give it that level of personability. And then sharing posts, on stories or on stories or through the SoundCloud messages, like I said, will also be really good way to interact with people, keep people up to date, because, in case someone misses something, I don't want them to, completely forget about me. So when they're looking at their messages, they go, oh yeah, new podcast dropped or new blog post or Twitter post. That way people can know big changes coming up or any updates on the accounts. I think interacting with other content creators is, besides just replying to comments, is also going to be really helpful. If collabing with other maybe anime social media sites, maybe ones that aren't podcasts or blogs, but maybe just post exclusively on other accounts on Twitter or Instagram, will help grow my presence, because I can reach out to their viewers. They can connect with mine. I can connect with theirs, and just kind of build from there. Kind of get a shared fan base and get kind of tapped into a network. I think having the hashtags new anime and new manga is going to be really useful. I know those, that's what I look at all the time and try to always find out new places, new shows or new manga to read, and this will come right to the top of people's lists, especially at the changes of seasons. Here's my resources. My anime list is a great place to find out what anime are coming out. So here you can see, here's all the anime that are coming out in spring, and so I can use this as a resource to, inform people about new anime and the release dates and such. And then Viz for manga. Viz is one of the biggest publishers of manga. They've got because they have Shonen Jump and Viz Manga. There's a lot of manga that are published under Viz, and this will keep me up to date about new releases, as well as updates in chapters and all things like that. And finally, Reddit is a great place for the theory aspect of what I want to do with my blogs and podcasts, talking about maybe theories of shows or animes. And there's a lot of discussions on Reddit, about these things, so I can bounce ideas off people. People can interact with me, and I can also promote my podcast and the blog there, as well as my social media sites, while also getting new ideas for theories and interacting with others. Obviously, I'm not going to steal anyone's theories. If someone comes to me with a good theory and we discuss it together, I'll ask their permission first, being like, hey, I run a podcast and blog. Would it be all right if I talked about this theory and credited you? So there's that. Next is ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT is going to be really helpful, especially during podcasts, because it can pull up information very quickly and answer questions. I think it'll also be very helpful for writing posts, because sometimes I tend to, as you can see from this 8-minute so far video, I tend to kind of talk a lot and not make it be as concise as I would like to. And this can help me with that. It'll at least is a good guiding post to what I should say. All right, and then next, why isn't my next working? Okay, well, it's not working, but yeah, that's my the last slide is just the end slide. But that is my presentation. I hope you guys all will tune in to Avery's Anime Corner. Bye bye.